What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled The You're the Man of the House Syndrome. For the kids who get, for the little boys who get cursed with this ideology of you're the man of the house now, it creates a lot of problems. You know, first and foremost, for all the kids who've been there or who they're not, you're not the man of the house. You're not a man yet. And it's hard, and that's one of the big problems, because most of the time mom or grandmom tell you you're the man of the house, no other adult can tell you you're not even a man yet, because that means the world to you that they see you in that way. But the problem is, because you're a child, you really don't know how over your head these comments are, because you don't know what it is to be a man. You don't know the responsibilities to be a man. You don't know how to carry yourself like a man. You haven't even been taught how to be a man, but you were told that you were the man. So now your idea of manhood is childish to a degree, because you're a child. But it's an ideology, right? And you don't know the practical applications of your ideology, which is a problem. And I'm going to get into the other things about it. The other thing about that is this: the pressure and depression of a child being told that they're the man of the house. Because now you can't be a kid anymore, because now you putting pressure on yourself, because you feel like the household depends on you. Their kids not old enough to work, but now they're in school like, I gotta get A's and B's because I gotta get my family out of this situation, because now they're the man of the house. That's too much pressure. You know, they're kids who are playing sports, who they really can't practice, because they really can't get better, because they can't make a mistake and learn from it, because everything they do has the weight of getting the family out of poverty on their back. And, few people can be successful like that. And especially children, because that's a heavy weight to bear. That's a heavy cross to bear. So now you got this syndrome where, nothing can be good enough, because in practical application, you're a child. So you're not old enough to provide for the family, for one. So you're trying to do things to garner some type of monetary gain to take care of a family of adults when you're a child. And one of the major flaws in this that they never say is, once you tell a kid that you're the man of the house, the irony of it is, adults don't want to follow the lead of a man, but they would tell a child that they become a man, and a child believes, okay, if I'm the man, that means everybody has to follow my lead. So the very same people that wouldn't follow a man's lead promote a child to be above them, but then tell a child, emasculate the child, because you appointed this child to be a man, and when a child thinks, I'm going to exude my manhood and leadership abilities, then you smack them down. Well, you ain't nothing but a little boy. You don't run me, I'll run you. And it's like, this is part of the You're the man of the house syndrome because you were appointed to be in a position that you weren't qualified to be in, and in some ways you were pseudo put in a position to get emasculated. So now you're going out to the world feeling like you have to provide for a family when you're not old enough to provide for yourself, and you get to be talked down to and treated like you're not good enough at home because you're the man of the house, but you ain't man enough to have a say so. So, you know, it's a problem. So now you're left with this duality of, now you're a child appointed to be the man of the house, but you're a powerless man. So now you have to deal with that whole aspect of it. And then, in being powerless, like you put in a powerless mode because you're still a child. You're not even supposed to be in the seat of seat of a man. Now you're seeing other men come along who are able to do things that you're not able to do because, for one, they're older, wiser, more established, and they are men, and you're not. And now you can't take tutelage from these guys a lot of times because in some ways you feel like you're in direct competition with these guys. You know. And here's part of where people talk about the simping comes from. Because normally you're appointed to be the man of the house by the woman of the house. And now you want to save your mama and your sisters and your auntie and your granny. So when you have that ideology, now you go out into the world and you want to save your girlfriend and your classmates and every girl around you, because sometimes it's presented as if you're the man of the house because the men just left us high and dry. And they don't care about us. And since you're here, you got to take up the slack and save us because you're more of a man than the men that left. Now, here's the ridiculousness. Here's the irony of that statement. There are people who will tell you that there are parents and family members who would tell a boy that their father wasn't ish, and then turn around and tell them that they're the man of the house, and have this Herculean ideal of the things that they can accomplish. And some of that stems from knowing their father. Even if they're saying the father wasn't ish, they won't really say this, but it's implied that you should be able to do this. Because at first, some people will take the credit for it, like, you have my DNA in you, and I can do these things, so you should be able to do this. But the problem with that is this: that's not a true statement, because if you appoint a child to be the man of the house, and they can make these, Herculean gains, and it comes from you, you should have been able to make them Herculean gains in your life and not be dependent on the child to get you out of your situation. So what winds up happening is the boy starts to think, maybe, I got the best qualities of my father, and that's what they see in me, and he got the worst qualities, so I'm better than he ever was because I got all his goods and not his bads. And it's like, that might lead you down the road of destruction, bro, because you don't know yet. And that becomes a problem, because now you think you're better than where you came from, and you have no idea if you are or not. You have no idea. And if you meet, and if you come into contact with all the good things in you, and you come to find out that it's mostly in your father, then you're gonna have because you're going to have a breakdown. Because a lot of the times, part of the syndrome is when you're appointed to be the man of the house as a child, you don't have the wisdom or the knowledge to be objective. You don't, because you don't know both sides yet. And what happens is when you know both sides of the equation, it changes the whole dynamic of how you look at your life, that situation, and your responsibilities to the people who told you were going to be a man. And sometimes they end up good and sometimes they end up bad, And then I'm going to say this and get out of here with this video. The syndrome grows when you become a grown man and also more so a parent, because then you can see from a parent end of the stick, like, would you appoint your child to be the man of the house, and what that says about you as a parent, and how would you look at how you look at other parents who appoint their children to be man of the house, and then that makes you go, oh. Okay. What it is it's a group of failures who want to put the pressure of the world on the kid because they never wanted better. Okay. And now I was surrounded by a team of losers that I had to win for everybody because they wasn't going to try to win for themselves. Got it now. But it's too late, for some of the lessons and dysfunctions that were placed in there at that time, because now you've already been through it. So, hope you understand where I'm coming from. We out.